The House Government Operations Committee will come to order. Would the clerk please take attendance?
Chair Liberati.
Here.
Representatives Pahutsky. Here. McFall.
Here.
Posthumus.
Here.
Green. Here. Mr. Chair, you have 5 members present. You have a quorum.
Representative Pahutsky moves to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Hearing no objections, they are approved. First up today, we're going to be taking up House Bill 4221. To speak on our bill is Representative St. Germain. Yep.
Well, it's an exciting day to talk about boats and boating, I would say. It's pretty nice out. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of this committee. House Bill 4221 officially designates Harrison Township as Boat Town, USA, as one of Michigan's state symbols. Boats and boating in Michigan is a big deal, and actually, we are the 3rd largest marine market in the entire country. I believe it should be celebrated alongside our other state symbols as well. Let's talk a little bit about Michigan, boating in Michigan history. Michigan is a national center of classic boating, a hobby understood by simple geography alone. In the mitten, you are never more than 6 miles from the nearest body of water. The state is home to the Great Lakes and boats, the nation's longest freshwater shoreline at over 3,000 miles. Michigan actually has a long boating history. The boat building industry boomed in the 19th and early 20th centuries, but Michigan boat builders left their mark on history from developing speedy runabout boats called rum runners during the Prohibition era. Our economy depends on the boating industry. Promoting pure Michigan and our boating industry brings tourism and boosts our economy. The economic activity and job growth from recreational boating includes $10 billion and supports 58,000 jobs, which has actually increased 45% since 2018. Michigan is seeing a record growth in recreational boating between 2020 and 2022 as Michigan folks are prioritizing outdoor recreation, mental health, and time with family and friends throughout the pandemic. As a matter of fact, in Macomb County alone, there are over 53,000 registered boats. Now let's talk about Harrison Township and how it got its nickname. Harrison Township actually sits on a peninsula, approximately 20 minutes just northeast of Detroit on the shores of Lake St. Clair, which is nestled between the St. Clair River and the Detroit River systems, or if you picture the map, between Lake Huron and Lake Erie. A boater by the name of Hugh Rigoroni owned Burr sailboats in the township. He was known to be quite the character and a friend of Candace Miller. I don't know if any of you know who Candace, or if you recognize the name, but she was our Secretary of State, Congresswoman, and now she is our Macomb County Public Works Commissioner. Hugh and Candace were good friends and founders of Harrison Township's Festival of Lights Boat Parade when they came up with the name Boat Town, USA. This was nearly 50 years ago. This parade is still a huge annual event that's held in August. Here are some quick facts about Harrison Township, which is where I live, by the way. An old wooden blue boat is nestled under Harrison Township's welcome sign. There are nearly 51 miles of Lake St. Clair coastline and canals in the township. There are over 40 private marinas and nearly 8,000 boat slips in Harrison Township alone. This comprises more waterfront residents than any other community in Michigan. These boating businesses, such as the marinas, boat sales, boat repair, boat supplies, paddle sports, restaurants, and convenience stores, are all part of what is referred to the blue economy of Macomb County. There are 3 public boat launches which offer lake access to boaters from not only Michigan, but Ohio, Indiana, and even Canada. In fact, you may have heard of some of Lake St. Clair's nationally recognized events before, such as Jobby Nooner, Girls' Day in the Bay, or the Raft Off, which nearly broke a world record with a line of boats, approximately 2,000 boats. Those are boats in that picture. It's crazy. So it stretches for miles. You can't even get in the water and walk that line. It's a lot of fun, a lot of good people. I would say it's kind of like a Mardi Gras, but on the water. Also, Metro Beach in Harrison Township is host to the Metro Boat Show and the International Bassmaster Elite Series Fishing Tournament. You have no doubt heard the expression, life is better with a boat. If that's true, then life just doesn't get any better than boating in Harrison Township on Lake St. Clair. Designating Harrison Township officially as Boat Town USA is long overdue. As a matter of fact, Google has already beaten us to it. We're in the encyclopedia, or Wikipedia, now they say. So I'm not asking if we should make Harrison Township Boat Town USA. I'm simply asking for us to officially recognize that it already is. One of Michigan's most popular boating destinations should hold the title, the only title in the world, known as Boat Town USA. Let's get it done. I'm open to any questions and even open to some boat tours.
Thanks for that testimony. I really like the visual aids. That was beautiful. Any questions? Oh, you're going to get off easy.
Okay, all right. I like it. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep. I have a few cards to read in. Not wishing to speak in support, Mark Hackle, Macomb County Executive. Not wishing to speak in support, Candace Miller, Macomb County Public Works Commissioner. Not wishing to speak, supporting the bill, Pete Lucido, Macomb County Prosecutor. Not wishing to speak in support, Tony Forlini from Macomb County. In support, not wishing to speak, Gary Knotts, South River Marine. In support, not wishing to speak, Ken Versek, Supervisor of Harrison Township. In support, not wishing to speak, Kelly Black Levati, CEO of Macomb County Chamber. All right, next we'll be taking up House Bill 4457. To speak on our bill is Representative Scott, whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. Thank you for the opportunity to testify on my House Bill 4457 today. This legislation would establish Juneteenth or June 19th as a state-recognized holiday. It's the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the end of slavery in the U.S. Juneteenth is often attributed to the ratification of the 13th Amendment. However, this is historically inaccurate, as Juneteenth is actually a celebration when Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, with news that the Civil War had ended and that the enslaved people were now free. This was a 2.5-year period after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which had become official on January 1st, 1863. Establishing Juneteenth as an official state holiday supports an ongoing effort to expand racial justice and equity in Michigan and further promotes commemoration of when all slaves heard the news that they were emancipated from slavery. Designating Juneteenth as an official state-recognized holiday in Michigan honors those who were wrongly enslaved in our country. It also encourages citizens to pause on June 19th and reflect on the strong survival instincts of the African American slaves and on the great joy in which African Americans first celebrated the abolition of slavery. So I really feel that history matters. And unfortunately, there has been a long history of whitewashing history, a long history of creating and passing down historical narratives that leave out minority communities. Currently, we are living during a time when a lot of people are trying to hide the truth, but difficult parts of our nation's history, especially the parts of history that tell the lived experiences and stories of marginalized people and often misremembered cultures. For that reason, it is even more important that we take the time and effort to recognize, to learn, and to teach the truths of our country's past, the truths of the lies and laws that still inform our present day. During a time when books are being banned and curriculums are being censored and histories are being hushed, it's crucial we speak the truth in society. This bill will help to do that. It will recognize a past that cannot be forgotten or brushed under the rug. The institution of slavery is an absolute horrific stain on our country's history, and the freeing of slaves is one of the most important events of our past. Juneteenth is a day we can come together as a country to talk about and reflect on our freedoms and the necessity of protecting them, and for all citizens equally. It's crucial that we pay homage to millions of Americans who were shipped against their will to the U.S. Juneteenth also serves as a reminder to all Americans how important it is to embrace anti-racist ideals. This day will also recognize and give recognition to those and the opportunity to celebrate Black folk and their descendants, which I'm sure everyone would agree is more of a valid reason to recognize it as an official state holiday. Again, this bill matters because of history, because history matters, because Black lives of yesterday and of today matter. This bill matters because the truth of our history really, really matters. So I want to thank you for allowing me to speak on the bill and giving me an opportunity to testify today. And I'll be happy to take any questions that you may have.
Thank you for that. Not a very talkative group today.
No one's talking today.
You're safe.
That's good. No problem. That means you fully understood it, no questions. All right, have a great day. Thank you.
I have a couple cards to read in. Not wishing to speak in support of the bill, Gabe Basso, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. In support of the bill, not wishing to speak, Michigan Credit Union League. In support of the bill, not wishing to speak, Brian Schaff, Detroit Regional Chamber. And finally, in support, not wishing to speak, Tom Hickson, Michigan Catholic Conference. And there being no excused or no absent members, no further business, the committee is adjourned.